It's like a random Tuesday in June. Dizza hits me up, sends me like a screen recording of the beat using my sample. It was just the beat. It wasn't anything crazy, but then all he said was, Swae Lee just cut this one. I just got home from work. I was laying in bed. I was like, whatever, I'm tired. And then I got that text message and I was like, okay, I think I should turn my laptop on. I think I should get to fucking work. That was it for about 5 months. And then November rolls around. Tosh messages me, hey, we got one with Fivio Foreign and Swae Lee. Don't be humble. All right. Well, I'll take that into account. I'm Teo Domani, producer, sample maker. I've done film scores. I consider myself a composer, but that's a little bit pretentious. But generally, that's what I do. I've been making beats for almost 7 years now. Definitely, I would say my sweet spot is my samples. I just love what goes into them. I love melodies, anything melodic. I definitely go a little more in depth with mine. I like texture more than anything. If anything, you could say I add a little too much detail. I'm learning now to like, okay, it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I need to reel it in. Like I'm adding too much. Any producer has this experience too. Like whether it's you're making beats and you're adding too much drums or you're adding too many sounds, it's like you have to sometimes learn to work with less. And I've had samples where I'm like, you get to the 7th layer and you're like, I think it's done. I think it just depends what you're doing. With me, I just love a good vintage record. Yeah, I love like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I like old shit, man. I find a lot of those records incorporate a lot of texture. They incorporate a lot of like depth into their mixes and whatnot, you know, whether that's vinyl saturation, tape saturation, whatever it might be. I find I'm very privy to just like working with those sounds, you know, sonically of that time. A lot of the stuff you might hear from me might reflect that, but I like new stuff as well. So I'm bouncing between. You mentioned too that I'm versatile. I feel like there's not a genre I can't do. I've worked with rapper Wakotron, Swae Lee, Fivio Foreign. That's about it. A lot of smaller artists as well. A lot of great records out. There's a lot of, honestly, some of my favorite records I've made are my smaller ones.
That's what I always find.
With up and coming artists. Yeah. Always, man. I got this one with this guy, Zay. It's called I Tried. By the way, you should go stream that. It's one of my favorite ones that I've ever done.
Ooh,
and like, it was so like, it was funny because we were, again, why it was so good too is because like we were in the studio making that. I was like with him, like we were together making that beat. And then like a couple months went by. I think like a year later, the song ended up dropping and it was great. It's one of my favorite records I've ever worked on. And it's like, yeah, we made that shit in studio.
Yeah.
Which
I always find
you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Tell me how you got started. What age were you at when the production side became a thing versus music in general?
Music for me was very much, and it very much is still, always was a lifetime thing. Like always was listening to music, like ever since the age of 5. That's kind of like I'm talking like before I had a conscience, I was probably still listening to music, you know?
Right.
Like I remember like my very first memory, or not very first memory, you know, I remember my aunt playing me like Green Day and like Daft Punk. And so like, I remember just like the Kanye, like that was when Graduation dropped too. So it was a lot of early influences were set from then on, like Kanye, Daft Punk, Green Day, all those. Like I still love all of those artists to this day. It really started as like a kid. I started playing drums when I was like 7, did that for like 6 years. And then basically like the seeds were planted for production by the time I got to like high school, but probably around like 11th grade, 12th grade. I don't know what did it. I think I just started getting into more hip hop around like 10th grade. It was the big 3. It was Drake, Kendrick, Cole. Right. And that was like my gateway into it. And so like from and then it just expanded from there. I know like that's when like Trap Soul had just dropped. Like I feel like there was a lot of really cool emerging sounds coming out of like mid 2010s hip hop. Totally. Like the fucking SoundCloud wave too, like just the wave of artists that came out of that. Well, but the ones that came, you're right. Some of the ones that stayed, there was so many new artists coming out. So there was just so much. Like Future was popping off still. Like I mean, he was already like that. Like dude, he was a couple albums in at that point, right? But there were so many new artists coming out of that time. So I think it was just a really exciting time to be listening to hip hop, especially. There was so much stuff coming out. And I'm not saying grade 11, grade 12 for our out of Canada viewers. I'm being very courteous here. But yeah, grade 11, grade 12. I think I finally started making beats when I was like 18, 19. So just out of high school. What got me into it too was the funniest thing. I had no idea what a DAW even was. What started to pique my interest was like there were these, like people would make like mashups on on SoundCloud. And that's what started getting me into it. Some of them were like hilarious and people were just splicing shit together. Like stuff that wouldn't work, right? Like it was just goofy shit. But there was something about it that piqued my interest. Man, I would love to do this. I don't know how to do this, but I would love to get into doing it. So the seeds were planted there. And then coming out of high school, I was really into this artist named, I'm sure people know who he is, but Joji. So this was like early era Joji. And I remember looking up, like, I don't know what did it for me finally, but I was like, I got to a point where I'm like, I need to figure out how to produce. Something about it was like, I think I just needed a creative outlet that wasn't messing around with stuff. Like I wanted to do something legit. I think I just literally looked up, I'm like, what software does Joji use to make music? And Ableton came up. I was like, oh, cool. It was that quick. And I downloaded Ableton, started messing around, did not watch a tutorial. Do you use FL?
I use FL right now, yeah.
I was working out of the session view in Ableton, so I wasn't even going into the main and like making MIDI tracks or anything. I was just clicking the sequencer and like writing MIDI notes. And like, I had no idea what I was doing, man. I think finally maybe I like came across some internet money tutorials, and then that started to make it more clear. I was like, oh, okay, this is how to do it. I need to get drums. I need to do whatever. I was still garbage for a while, but it was just over time, like you learn as you go. And I feel like for me, I just learned as I went, and it took me a while to get good. Again, I've been doing this for like 7 years now. The first few years, nothing was clicking at that point, but I made it work. And you keep pushing through.
That's the key thing. Everybody has a different timeline for when, especially skill wise, when it clicks. Because some people nowadays, especially, they see more online, maybe they'll like get into it for the wrong reasons. Although I don't judge anyone, but I feel like longevity wise, or if they don't see results or something, it's much easier to quit if you're not really into it. You use FL now too, right? Or no?
Not yet. I was trying to do it last month, but I have that on the list this year. I'm finally going to stop being stubborn.
Bro, honestly, you're chilling, because I've been saying the same thing.
Dude, more so for sessions, man. Like there's been too many times in the past. And the thing is, I'd always cope with it. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I don't need to learn FL. I can be cracked with Ableton because so-and-so and so-and-so. And like, yeah, that's true. But I'm also like, man, I can't be going to sessions in person where I'm the only fucking person who doesn't know FL, because that's what it was. And then like you just sit there and we'll send you loops, and it's like, nah, man. Like learn and adapt. And like if most producers are using FL, fucking learn FL. Okay. Like I learned, like I got this MacBook that I'm on right now. I learned Logic. Shout out to my boy Ron Chester. He showed me like one time how to work through Logic, and then I just had it going. And like now I know how to use Logic. So it's like, with FL, I feel like I'm not expecting to learn it within like a week, because I think like Logic I had down pat within a week.
Okay.
I think with FL, it's just like, yeah, I want to get into it. I want to learn, because I think it's going to also change, like, because there will be limitations. There'll be stuff I don't know how to do. And through that, I'll like, you learn different methods, and like you're going to end up with a way cooler / different end product.
That's exactly, I totally agree. Yeah, that always affects the end product no matter what. That being said, I still have to learn Ableton. I've been telling myself, I've been using FL for sessions. Upskilling is it never hurts. Obviously, there's like a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, you always got to learn skills, man. Like no matter what, no matter how long you've been producing. Even for me now, my drums sound like they're industry ready. My samples sound good, whatever. But no, I still want to improve. There's no satisfaction in terms of like, okay, I don't think I can get better. Man, I thought that shit probably in like 2024. First times probably before that I thought that. And it's like, nah, man, the quality does improve. Like I listened to samples from back then. It's like, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Some are still great. I'm like, okay, cool. I would send this out. But it's like, I've still improved. And I feel like I'm just going to keep getting better.
That's fire. Honestly, that's impressive. Like,
however that sounds.
No, but I feel like that's impressive, and it's a good play. It honestly, bro, as a creative, it's a really good place to be in.
Getting started to now, like just the years that have progressed through that, I think for me too, it was inevitability. Like you said, whether some people have the right or wrong reasons to get into it, I think if it's something that genuinely interests you, give it a try. This tweet I saw not too long ago where somebody was like, is 20 years old too old to start making beats? And I quoted it. I don't know if you saw it. I quoted it, and it got a few thousand likes and whatnot. And I was just like, if you don't crack FL and start making shit immediately, because that's just how I feel. Get into into it, man. If you want to do something, fucking try it. What do you have to lose? And 20, by the way, is not
that's
too
crazy
old.
work.
20 is not too old to start making beats, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, like if it interests you and like you love a certain genre or hip hop or whatever it might be, like, man, try it out.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think it was always an inevitability. I had always played instruments. I had always listened to music. I think it just finally landed on like, okay, now all of that is collecting into this, right? All of that build up, all of that experience has led to this. And now I'm able to like utilize that. And finally, it's like I have a passion plus the utilization to like actually do it as well. So a lot of years, a lot of work, ups and downs, but you get to a point where it's like, and then yeah, hey, one day you might be, whether it's luck, whether it's timing, whether it's skill, like, yeah, you might be in a position where you're producing for major artists. And I think that's great. This is how we segue into that. So sorry, re-ask that question.
I was going to ask about some of the bigger placements you've gotten and how those came about. I also see Nico has a question he's typed, so I'll ask you that as well after. Tell me about the placements. Tell me about Swae Lee, Fivio Foreign.
Goes back to like we got to go back to like 2023 for this. I was sending loops out to this guy named Kierney, who is a manager. I hope I'm saying his name right now. He's since passed away. Rest in peace.
Bro, right? He was like my pseudo manager, basically. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Man, no, same for real. Like, and like, had he stayed alive, maybe things would have played out differently. But in that time span, and I shouted him out in that post too, because I'm like, I don't think anything would have happened if it wasn't
He's
for him.
The GOAT, bro.
So he forever the GOAT, man. And so yeah, I guess I don't know how it happened. I don't know if I had like, if he had posted like an email and he was like, send shit over, and I sent some stuff over and he seemed like he really liked it. He asked for my number. And then so I just began sending stuff to him. And I guess through him, he had sent my stuff to Tash. This guy, I am Tash on Instagram. And Tash has some big records as well. He worked on What You Know About Love, Pop Smoke. Huge record. Yeah, and I guess Tash had flipped some of my shit and sent it over to like Young Dizza, who, again, he also has some pretty major records as well. And I didn't even know he sent my shit to Dizza because he just hit me up on a whim on like, it was like a random Tuesday or Wednesday. Bro, it was fucking insane. Like, and this is how shit happens sometimes, man. Like I always say, I'm like, bro, sometimes the unseen is working in your favor because you just don't know where shit is going to end up. You send shit out, you might not hear back for months. And then you get told, oh yeah, so-and-so used this. Or the producer you sent it to is like, oh yeah, I've been using your shit. Yeah, it was like a random Tuesday in June. Dizza hits me up, sends me like a screen recording of the beat using my sample.
Yeah.
It was just the beat. It wasn't anything crazy. But then all he said was, Swae Lee just cut this one.
That would be crazy.
And like, I didn't have any major placements, but even then, I think I finally was at the point where like, if this was me in 2021, I would have been losing my shit. I would have been freaking out. I don't want to say I didn't care, but I think I was just kind of like, okay.
That's crazy, bro. That's actually crazy.
I was just like, I can't really do anything. It's funny too, because I remember I wasn't making music that day. I like just got home from work. I was laying in bed. I was like, fuck, whatever. I'm tired. And then I got that text message and I was like, okay, I think I should turn my laptop on. I think I should get to fucking work. That was it for about 5 months. And then November rolls around. Tosh messages me, hey, we got one with Fivio Foreign and Swae Lee. So I guess it was a Swae Lee song or like Swae Lee demo with an open that had got sent to Fivio. Like, I don't fucking know.
That's crazy though.
I don't know, man. I don't know how any of that shit worked. It was just like shit was getting passed around. That's how it goes, right? Yeah. So November rolled around. He sent me that. I think shortly thereafter, maybe a week or two later, I had gotten paperwork. Then January rolls around, track list drops. And that was that. Like, but February 9th, 2024, it dropped. It was, Fivio Foreign and Swae Lee, Could It Be? And it was, on the beat though, it's my sample. I think it was Dizza and Day 6 doing some of the drum work, and then Tosh, who I think flipped the sample through there. So it was think about the timeline of like June to February. That's about 8 months. That's how it goes sometimes, man. I've heard guys waiting years for records to drop.
That's true, bro.
It's kind of random. It might take a month 2 months, or it might take a year and a half. It's very random. Mine was 8 months.
In music, I always tell people, at least in my experience, this is just what I've noticed. I just call it the 1 year rule now, where if I'm putting in crazy work, like really, really pushing, it's usually about a year later that I'll see some great, like just out of this world feedback, because usually due to that work, the patience and just keep grinding. I didn't know if there was going to be any payoff, but Taz would tweet things like, oh, keep going, you know, shit like that. But it would keep me going. Because if I didn't get any, if I wasn't seeing any producers online, if I wasn't seeing any of that, I don't know if I would have known to just keep grinding at it, especially for like my first sale when I hadn't made that yet. The fact that you reacted that way to a Swae Lee one is kind of wild.
Man, at that point in time, I had heard too many stories about guys, Snippet Purgatory, man. And it's funny too, because I remember even like back like 2020, 2021, like guys would get motion off that shit, man. They'd have like a snippet with like, Keyed or Gunna or whoever. And the records sometimes wouldn't even come out, but it was like enough to get people interested. You could get a song with like dozens of people on it. Like I remember the producer, Rot.
Oh yeah,
makes really crazy drum kits.
Yeah.
He had a song on like the Infinity Link album. There's a song on there with like Gunna and Thug on it. When he posted about it when it dropped, he had known about it for like over a year. It was like him and DJ Durrell on that beat. Mm-hmm. Imagine you got a song with like Quavo, Offset, Thug, Gunna, who are like just a posse cut of people, and you knew about it for a year. You know what I mean? And there's guys I know who had major records, like guys who like had shit with Uzi, whoever was popping at the time, and like shit just didn't come out. Stuff gets cut, right? I've heard stories, guys sign paperwork and records get cut last minute. So I was like, I don't know where I was mentally at that time. I can't really think too much because this was like going on 3 years now. Right. I think I was finally at a point with music where I'm like, if shit happens, shit happens. I was not like, because I remember in 2021, like I was just thirsty for a placement. Like I would have done anything for a fucking record credit, because I think it was indicative of I wasn't necessarily confident with my craft, so I feel like I needed the placements to earn my spot legitimacy.
Okay.
Rather than just like get good and put my work out and that speak for itself. See, because now I'm there. Now I don't give a fuck regardless. So somebody could message me tomorrow and be like, yo, we got one with Ye. Right. And I would just be like, cool. Now, when it drops, I'll get excited. Right. When it drops, like, when it's out, then I'll be happy.
That's actually fair.
I don't care about speculation. And even like for Dizza to just hit me up, bro, I was following him, mind you, right? But for him to just, finally he followed me back, sent me that. I'm just kind of like, I just knew, man. I'm like, I am not going to internalize this. I'm just going to keep going. Right. All I could do in that moment is just use it as a reason to keep going.
There's a guy who has a song on one of the latest Drake albums, and he's been Prod by Sav or Prod Sav. He's been posting the you've seen his reels, right?
Me and him follow each other, man. His reels have been, his reels have been crazy.
One of the reels he posted was basically like exactly what you just said, where he was like, yeah, it was crazy that, he did it, but like Drake hopped on the record. I knew about it, but I don't want to believe it until I press play. So literally till the moment he pressed play, and then he has a reel of him like reacting in that moment. I thought that was wild. That was really interesting to me. And especially hearing that from like multiple experienced producers or producers that have been doing it for, a minute or really putting that grind in. Is pretty indicative of something. You
gotta just be, it's like patience mixed with like, you just don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Because sometimes records just come out as flukes. I feel like even that one was like the timing between it versus like whether people get it or not. I feel like is so like at that point I feel like I had finally let go of the desire of like desperation. The strong need, the want of like, oh, I want this, I want that. I finally was just like, I don't care anymore.
Right.
I think I was at a spot where I was just like really keen on like, how good can I get? I was more focused on like, and even now too, like, and I think for all producers, like be more focused on just like connect with yourself and like, what do you like to make? How good do you want to get? What other producers inspire you? What sounds inspire you? I think even Steven Schaefer had said it too. Like he's one of my favorite producers right now too. He said something just like fall in love with the process rather than like the chase of placements and major records and whatnot. Because it's like, yeah, of course, like people, like even when that record came out that I did, it's like, yeah, I felt like a big celebration, hundreds of comments, so many congratulations. And it was just like, it was good. It was liberating, man. I was on top of the world for 24 to 48 hours. And then that was it, It's not like, especially like with your first major one, even like, granted, if it's with somebody like Drake, I feel like that's a little bit different, but it's also like, you also have to put in the work too.
Right.
Afterwards.
Right. That's a big thing.
You know, whether it's people reaching out, whether it's people following you because of it, then it's like now it's your job to like, you got to put, like, you almost actually have to work harder.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Now, I did not necessarily do this. So, but I don't feel like it's like a setback. Like I'm still making really good shit, and I feel like there's still eyes on me, whether I make content or whatnot. So, and there's, dude, the amount of opportunities that come my way that are like, that I know are there too, where it's just a matter of like, well, are you going to get after it? Right. That, because that's all it is for me at this point. Like, there are dozens of opportunities in front of me, and it's just a matter of like, well, you going to get it or no?
Right.
You going to do the work or no? Because then that's basically it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can lock in with certain producers, and there's certain producers I am locked in with that I'm trying to like stay connected, send shit back to them, right? But it's like, maximize your field, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know Telegram, I'm finally on Telegram with certain producers. They have channels. Like, I know Sav has a channel on Telegram that he sends his shit into. So it's like, that's a really good opportunity for producers. The Discords, I find, get a little saturated. So Telegram, I feel like, is like a little bit better.
Okay.
For like
right.
sending collabs in, doing whatever. It's a little bit more of an avenue of just like, and dude, so many producers, you never know who's going to post on their story, send loops with an email. Do it. I almost never don't send. You understand?
Gotcha.
Like I almost always send. When a producer posts an email and they're just like, send me some shit. Because you never know.
And that's so much, but it's stuff like that that's important, man. It's the little stuff like that, and there's like, it's easier. I say, yeah, easier said than done. Like, it sounds almost, it's like, oh yeah, send whenever you see it, send it. Like, when you actually are getting the practice of doing that, then you start to realize like, okay, this, you know, it takes work. Let alone, there are some jobs that are more direct with work. You know, you put in a certain amount of hours, clock in, clock out type thing. How do you view working hard or working in music? I was coming up too, like, they have all these different ideas of what that even means. And some of them will be like, oh, you're doing that? No, that's way too much. Like, that's crazy, you know? That's...
Yeah. Everybody has an opinion, right? And I feel like it's hard to listen to just one. There's so many, like, what works for somebody else is not going to work for you, and vice versa. Because there's the path to success in a industry like music is like, it's not straight and narrow. It never has been, man. What I really find always motivating too is, I think what's even more so especially more so than music, is acting. Like, we talk about, like, you love movies, I love movies too. Man, how many damn actors you hear of that they didn't get their breaks until they were in like their 30s, 40s, like later on. Yeah. And this wasn't due to lack of trying. This was just like, this is the way that it is for a lot of people, right? You might get, you know, AP Melodies, he's 16. He just got one with fucking Drake.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
But crazy. And you know what? Amazing, because he's cracked as fuck. He's way better than me. He's way better than a lot of people. I think he's better than a lot of industry producers, but that's what it is, man. And you got me, I'm in my mid-20s now. And it's like, you know, there's going to be a lot of these, like, he doesn't use FL, but like FL sweats, man. These like these 14 to 17-year-olds who are like, they are just fucking outpacing everybody. I'm talking like, they're better than some industry prods.
For sure.
Like, they're just so technically gifted. Now it's like, okay, sure, a lot of them don't have major records. They're just, you know, they hype each other up, they work with each other. But like, when they figure out how to fucking write good songs and like get to a certain level, it's inevitable, right? And the thing is, you can't be mad. It's just the way that it is, man. The pathway is different. You might start making, like, if I started making beats at 9 years old, who the fuck knows where I'd be right now? But I didn't start till I was like 18.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, it might like, are you willing to wait 10 years? Are you willing to consistently put in the work and not quit? I just voice cracked. And not quit after like 5 years? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's what it is, man. It takes time, regardless of what you want it to be or not.
Mm-hmm. You know, and obviously other artistic or creator type avenues are like this, but how do you gauge working hard? Juice WRLD's a really good example of just like pure, he is extremely talented, but the work ethic that guy had is crazy unreal.
And you're going to find too, with a lot of artists like that, Juice was, he was something else, man. Did you watch the Michael Jackson movie?
I still have to. Should I watch it?
Definitely watch it, because what you're going to find with that movie is, like, you just said it with Juice. As gifted as he was, he still fucking worked hard. Talent almost is irrelevant, but working hard is not like you're spending 12 hours a day making music. It's more just like, I think consistency beats
agree.
everything.
I totally agree.
I think it beats hard work. It beats like making, 10 beats a day, 20 beats a day, however much a day that you feel is necessary. Because I don't think you have to do that. Like I said too, I think before we started going live, I mentioned like I have a pretty kind of interesting, maybe unconventional process now where I just try to make like, I sometimes even set timers where I'm like, okay, 20 minutes, I'm going to start an idea. Whether I have an inkling of what I want to make or not is irrelevant, but I'll set sometimes a timer for like 20 to 30 minutes. I make whatever I can. Timer rings, I'm on to the next idea. And then I try and repeat this process 2 times, 3 times, sometimes 2 times, 3 times, sometimes like 4 or 5 times. And I don't finish anything. Then next day or the day after, I'll come back, I'll start finishing stuff. And what I find is, especially with beats, I can start like 5 to 7 beat ideas, whether that's using other people's loops or making shit from scratch. And then it's like within a 2 to 3 day period, I've just made double what I would normally make on like a day-to-day basis with stuff. So whether that's working smarter or harder to me is irrelevant because again, I'm able to make so many different ideas day to day and I'm doing it consistently.
Right.
So, and that's what it is at the end of the day, right? And the thing is too, man, it doesn't even matter. Like I remember like it's all about timing and like who you're locked in with. Like you could make 15 beats a month. You can make 10 samples a month. If you're just locked in with the right people and the timing aligns, like it doesn't matter, right? I think the hard work especially goes for the producers who are like on the come up. Maybe they still need to improve. Maybe they've only been producing for a year. That's where I would advise like, okay, maybe lock in a bit more and try and make stuff every day and maybe make multiple ideas a day. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, it's getting reps in. I am a firm believer, especially this year, I'm like, get your fucking reps in.
Facts.
Just do it. Make stuff. Don't be, oh man, I didn't make a beat for 2 weeks. Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know life gets busy. I get it. Man,
the reps are too real, bro. The reps are too real. The reps are real.
And that's what I think it means at the end of the day. It doesn't mean like lock yourself in your room and don't go outside and don't shower and make 20 beats a day until your fucking eyes are bleeding. Like maybe some producers believe in that philosophy, but I find that ridiculous. What it means is consistency and get your reps in any ways that you can. If that's laying down a single chord progression and calling it a day, but it's like come back to it and try something with it. Man, it's funny because it's literally happened to me, man. Like I made this really beautiful sample and I'm going to post a breakdown of it soon, but I remember like all I had for like 2 days was like I abandoned it for 2 days because all I had was like a chord progression, and then I came back to it, kind of fleshed it out and was kind of just almost throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, and like, the outcome was insane. The outcome was great, and it's just like believe in your ideas and try new stuff and like just listen to as much stuff as you can. Like I don't know who said it, but it was listen to a new record every day and just kind of like always get inspiration coming in.
I like that.
Always, because you don't know, right? So I think when it comes to like hard work, that's what I believe hard work is. And like again, like put your stuff out too. Put your stuff out there. I know, and this is what I love too, because I know the whole thing is nobody wants to be a content creator. We all want to be mysterious musicians and send our shit out and post fit pics and call it a day. I understand that, but that's not the way it is now, okay? Sav is actually a great example of I literally commented on one of his reels. I'm like, every producer should be fucking promoting their placements the way you're doing it. Yeah. And my next fucking placement, I'm doing exactly what he's
killing it, bro. Yeah.
He's doing exactly what you need to be doing. Because it doesn't matter if the reels don't pop off, but he's consistent. And it's like, yeah, by the way, I just produced for fucking Drake. And whether that's another major artist, it's like some producers they don't even care.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I get it. They're more locked in. They're like in the hills doing their shit. I get it. For guys like me, like if I got that Drake record, man, I'd be doing the same shit.
Right.
I break downs, make a video, do it. Like he's doing it perfectly. And I advise way more producers to do that shit. Yeah. I tried to do that with the Swae Lee record, but then like I was too in my head. I was like, no, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But it's like, nah, man. I'm not saying you have to post every single day, but like every couple days, every 3 days, like post a little something, tell your story, do whatever you can, just be seen. Because to be seen is to be heard. And like from there, you don't know who's watching. It could lead to so much other shit. And I hope for him it does.
Well, that's,
yeah.
And
I hope for more producers it does,
Yeah, I agree. You said you have a lot of opportunities. How does a producer get to a place where, how do they get better opportunities that they're looking forward to? Even stuff like you're talking about specific telegrams, Discords are obviously getting a little bit saturated, you're saying. But how does a producer who, let's say they're skilled enough, because we're saying like skill-wise, I feel like producers are catching up to each other. Like it's starting, there's a lot of tutorials out there, like it's, but now there's other skills like creative skills, content, all these things. So how do you get these opportunities in front of you, or at least how have you so far done so?
It's a great question. I think for me, I don't know what it is now, but I feel like I'm not privy to like not getting a follow back at this point. So like if I follow a producer, there's always like, I would say a 60 to 70% chance that they will follow me back. And I'm grateful enough to have some pretty decent follows from some like not higher level producers, but like ones who are most definitely at a level where they're getting crazy fucking records out. Sometimes it feels random, and maybe like they see I have a couple placements, or that maybe they go through my reels. Like, I don't know how it works.
Right.
I can't get into the head of a big producer or guys who are like getting records. I can't speak to like what warrants a follow back or not. But I feel like that's like step one. And then step two would just be like, again, keep an eye on the stories. Like if you have an opportunity to send shit in, if they post an email, like send your stuff in, drop loose attachments, or like, put a Dropbox link if possible, or what. Like, I don't know what like people look for these days. And again, even now when I get a follow back, I don't really know why.
yeah.
Sometimes like I know I'm skilled, but it just kind of feels random. And I'm a hypocrite for saying this too, but don't be afraid to reach out.
Right.
If you feel like that you have what they need.
Right.
Especially if they're posting about like, I need loops for so-and-so, or I need stuff for so-and-so. It doesn't hurt to reach out.
Yeah.
Whether they reply or not is irrelevant. But if they do and they like your stuff, like who knows what that could lead to.
True.
I don't know if I'm saying the last name right. Jake Friedkiss. He's been offering like, you can sign up and it's completely free too. He calls it Starter Gang. He just sends out his like melody starters. And you can send them back as beats. You can send them back as samples. And it's like, and me and him are locked in through there. And that was just like a free opportunity that he decided to give. Not every producer is that generous, and also there's linear networking too, man. There's guys like, it's very random in terms of like who you can reach out to and who's available. But like sometimes people are way more available than you think. And yeah, sometimes you might post a TikTok, you might post a reel where like people might see it because you don't know who's watching.
Yeah.
And it takes time, man. Again, like this is after years of doing stuff, right? So because like you might get that first placement by fluke, let's say, because you don't know.
Right.
And I wouldn't necessarily advise for like paying for collabs. But I'm like, again, let's say, and you said it too, like if you're skilled enough, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, I'll be honest. In my experience, like I saw recently Rio just posted, I think yesterday or 2 days ago or something, specifically about paid labs. And I thought that conversation was kind of over, but I guess not. But Rio was saying, don't pay for labs, not worth it. There's too much free stuff out there. At least in my experience, maybe things are different.
And he's right.
Yeah, well, he's right.
He's right for sure. Yeah. But it's also like, there's this producer named Hayes, who I remember, like I paid to be on his sample list. And like I've been able to get shit, and I've gotten some amazing collabs with him over the years. And like this was years ago, and he still sends me samples. And like I have some of my favorite beats that I've ever made are on his samples. And he likes my shit too. He likes what I send back. So it's like, at the end of the day, again, it's more visibility. It's like more of an obligation to be seen.
That's
so
really smart,
like,
bro. That's a really good way to put it. Especially in this day and age where everyone's competing for attention. They're trying even the ones that are posting content, they're still trying all these things. Something as simple as a paid lab. I know it sounds, and obviously what I will say is one of my biggest placements came from a paid lab. Like, you know what I mean? And it actually wasn't even that crazy of a producer or someone that you'd be like, oh my God, he's going to get me a placement. I didn't pay for a placement. I actually, you know what's crazy? I think I might have actually paid for it for the visibility at that time because of type beats. He was going to post it on YouTube. So I was like, all right, I'll get a little bit of clout that way. Like, let me do it.
You might get a sale. You might get a couple sales.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that, right? So you're like, it's win-win for me regardless.
Exactly. And that record ended up going crazy in France and shit. Like it, you know what I mean? So, but I never actually thought about it in terms of visibility in this day and age. Nico has asked a few questions throughout the stream. When you're working with artists, do you have a specific process? He also asked if you sing, rap, or produce, and who are some of the producers you collab with the most? Which actually I don't actually know the answer to that one.
That's a great question. That's a great question. Okay, process for working with artists. If I'm ever in the studio with artists, I just kind of almost let them take the wheel. Don't say no a lot. Like if someone's like make this change and make this change, like unless I'm like advising against it, I kind of just let them take the wheel. I'm like, do whatever you want to do to make this record as great as possible. We'll do it. Working with like that guy Zay that I did that record with, good friend of mine too. It's the same shit. Like we're making the beat together, and he's always like we're making suggestions. We're doing whatever. You like always like be malleable, be able to be coachable, be easy to work with, right? You don't always have to steer it in like your direction of what you want to do. Like be as open to suggestions as possible, because you never know where stuff could go. And sorry, what was the other thing he asked?
He asked if you sing, rap, or just produce.
Well, I produce. I'd like to think I can sing. I'm in the process of I need to get a microphone, because I do want to start experimenting with vocal samples and loops with my vocals in them, because you already know I make the soul samples and the vintage sounding samples, and I just feel like it'd be really cool to sort of incorporate vocals into that in any way that I can.
Yeah,
that's something I'm looking into. And no, I don't rap, and I can't rap, and I will not.
Right. Maybe you have put your vocals in samples before, but I'm surprised you don't have it.
I have.
But I'm surprised you don't have a mic still.
But before the end of the month, I'm setting myself a deadline. I'm like, I will be getting something soon, because I'm like, bro, I also I have all of these Waves plugins that I'm like, I can't even they're useless without vocals. I gotta try them out. Producers I work with the most in the last few months. Jake Friedkiss is a big one right now. I really like his samples. I really like the stuff he's been sending me. There's Off and Out, who I've worked with a lot as well. I just started working with them, and I've made some really, really crazy shit on their samples. Hayes is another great collaborator that I love working with. Mijabella Marie, too. I just started working with her. Fire as hell. I made some really cool stuff with her collaborators too. A lot of names there. Prod by Jam, I fuck with too. He's very fire, out of Toronto. I've made some cool R&B stuff with him. Azuna started sending me samples as well, and I love his stuff. His stuff is incredible. I remember looking at his stuff on YouTube, and his shit was so fire, bro. Man, just even in the past too, bro. Like there was Luca. You remember Luca did this?
Yeah.
That I'm in Iced Out Angels with. That's just like a lot of collective like producers, rappers, graphic designers. Tyler Ocean, Geo. There's Sailor, who is really, he's been like a loyal user of my samples as well, and he really is consistent with them. Always sends me shit back when I send out. People don't really sometimes get the groove of my samples. Like they'll just kind of throw drums on it that won't fit. But that's why I like the stuff you've been sending me to.
Thank you, bro.
Where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like you got what I was doing initially,
right.
And you rode off of that. I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
Like someone gets it.
Right.
I'm glad.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, honestly, I think that just worked out. I'm glad it worked out. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just happens. Like you can hear the vision and see it. And that's why I like your samples, because TIFF event and just like the orchestral work and stuff for movies, or what you've done and how much you want to do in that realm as well.
Yeah, so with TIFF, that was an interesting one, man. That was such a cool experience. I have been grateful enough to do work for a couple short films, a lot of composition. It's not too much orchestral as you're thinking. It's more just like, I know the first one I ever did was called like Fragmented. A guy named Matthew was director. I don't even know how he had reached out to me. It was sort of on a whim. Okay. I don't know if he had seen my TikTok or whatever, but like that was the first time I remember doing any type of film score work, and it was so neat. Like he had, sent me the clips, sent me the script, sent me all of like the reference tracks for like, this is what he wanted to sound like. And then I just spent like a couple weeks like putting stuff together. I had some already pre-existing ideas. I was able to work it in with everything. And then with the second one we did, the one that I ended up at TIFF for, The director, Abby, she's so amazing. This was like her first short film, right? She had gone to school for film and this was her first time filming something. It was like her first solo project. And she had reached out to me. We had a mutual friend named Jack, and she talked to him and was like, yo, is this guy good?
Right.
Like, is he like reliable? Can he like execute on this? And Jack put in the word for me. So then Abby reached out. I guess she also liked like some of my sample stuff based on like the reels I had posted.
Right.
And again, it was the same deal. Like she had given me, I met up with her. She had given me the references for what she wanted it to sound like. And that's kind of where it is. With film scores, I'm always just, what do you want it to sound like? Do you have references? And I just go off of there. Hopefully I can score a feature length one day. That'd be
so sick.
Insane.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to do that. That's something where I'm like, beyond just like producing records and producing for artists, I'm like, that's something I could do that till I'm old.
Right.
Just get immersed into the world of film and like just do, original compositions for that shit. Cause I feel like I have the versatility for it. And yeah, hopefully I get to do more in the future. They were really cool opportunities. And again, like I got to go to TIFF Showcase, and it was just like a young creator showcase. Bunch of people's short films were in there, and I got to like watch my film that I scored on the big screen.
So cool.
At the TIFF Lightbox. Like I was like, wow, okay.
No, that's cool.
Crazy
That's
shit.
cool though. That's super cool. Yeah.
No, it was amazing. And like, yeah, like just, it's, this, like, it's like, I don't know how many producers you could say got an opportunity like that, but that was one where I was like, I am very glad I got to do that.
I'm saying, especially like around that Toronto area, because the music scene in Canada isn't that, it's not like the States or anything. Like something like that is, I think it's actually really special, So, and are both those filmmakers like, I guess, Toronto based?
The Matthew isn't. I think he's based out of New York. Abby is.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I will definitely be working with her again in the near future. So, and yeah, if any short film directors or any directors watch this, I am very much interested. I would love to do another score again. Very versatile. Check out my work. You can check out my Instagram, my TikTok. Go from there. And I would love to do work.
That's
for any of y'all.
From Nico, which is who are the top 3 artists that have inspired you the most? Or it could, I guess, be producers as well. Just, I guess, any type of artist. And then the last question I'll have is forward, like what we can look forward to, what you're, you mentioned some of the things you're working on this year and trying to improve, but what other things we can look forward to from you?
In terms of artists that inspire me, all time or currently? Kanye, Daft Punk, damn, I don't know who the third one would be. You know what though? Honestly, in terms of artists I'm going back to, probably The Weeknd. Because I think Weeknd for me as of right now, that would be like my all-time dream placement.
Oh, interesting, bro.
Like if it was like pick one artist you want to work with above literally anybody or everybody else, it's him without a doubt. Or Bad Bunny.
Right.
But probably Weeknd. Probably Weeknd over everybody.
That's fire.
Because yeah, he's amazing, man. He's a motherfucking superstar. Got to see him live. Always been a fan of his work. Like since I was like young, that's like the House of Balloons era. So yeah, for sure him. And I'll do producers too, because I think there's so many producers that need love and need shout outs. Benny X is probably like top of my list, man.
Ooh, yeah.
He just dropped a project. I don't know if you did. Did you listen to his project?
I haven't.
Genesis FM.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna go save it right now on Spotify because I haven't. I haven't.
You gotta tap in with that shit. And also to tie in with Nico's question, what can you look forward to from me this year? Whatever the fuck Benny X was doing on that album is a pocket that I didn't even consider. But when you listen to that album, and I recommend any producer, go listen to that motherfucking album. Steven Schaefer is another really, really big one. His stuff is so unique. I love the way he makes his beat videos to his cook-up videos where it's just like drums first, into the synth, into the whatever. He's got this cracked fucking studio that I'm like, one day.
Yeah.
One day.
No, he's killing it.
Buy a shit ton of hardware synths that I'm not even going to use, but they're there for decoration.
Exactly.
Geo, who I've been working with forever, he's got a really unique sound, like where you just like you listen to a beat and you know it's one of his, and he's incredible with it. We have some amazing collabs. Going back to Nico's question, just like what to expect from me this year: more content, more trying new shit, whether that's new genres, new types of samples, just like stuff that I haven't made before. maybe acapella flips. I gotta do more of those. I gotta do more like, I gotta bring back like not the mashup era, but work with more like acapellas and like try that shit. Because I find a lot of producers do really well. They'll take an acapella, they'll flip it.
Right.
Because it's recognizable, right? It's palatable. People are like, well, I know the song, so I'll check this shit out, right?
Oh yeah, true.
So it's, I'm like, it's stuff where I'm like, I know I can do it. So I'm kind of just like, definitely want to try more stuff like that.
Right.
And honestly, man, maybe just start putting some stuff on streaming. I've been told I'm being told by so many people, like some of your samples just need to go on streaming. Like make a project, make a little instrumental album. I know like, dude, that's another producer who's very inspirational. 808 2 Fly. He's got some really crazy shit, and he puts his stuff on streaming as well. He a lot of like disco funk, old school shit that he does. Very, very cool. Very like he had a couple of records on the Slayer album that came out as well. Yeah, he makes a lot of cool stuff, and it's just like, it's stuff like that where I'm like, I make tons of stuff in that vein, whether that's funk, soul, disco, whatever the hell it is. Like it could like you could send it out, but I could also like, you know, flesh it out, put it on. Like I remember I wanted to do this a couple of years back or a few years back, and I never got to it.
Right.
I never got to it. So I'm like, that's also something I could do this year of just like, rather than wait for shit to drop, just put it out.
Yeah. I feel you.
Doesn't need to get placed with an artist. Like just put it out, make an instrumental product. Because a lot of producers do it.
No, I've been seeing way more about it. Honestly, it's like there's certain things where I see certain trends. I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, I saw that coming, but this one was pretty like, to the extent to which producers are doing it, that are doing it. Like I'm sure there's way more that can, but like Nato Kitsch, for example. I don't know if you've seen.
Yes, very good example.
I mean, he's got like a full-on fan base now, which is crazy, bro. It's actually nuts.
RJ Payson did it too. Like he like was just making like guitar loops, and then his shit just took off on TikTok. And he's got some pretty cool credits as well. Like I think he did work on like he's done work for like Bring Me the Horizon. It's like, what the fuck?
That's nuts.
Just like you never know, bro. He's got like over 1 million followers on TikTok, plenty of monthly listeners on Spotify. Like, but see, this is what I'm saying though, and it's like when I say there's 1 million different pathways. Nato, RJ, and so many other producers. Elkin is another good one. Now he's kind of become his own artist. Like he got the one with Drake and whatnot. There's not one linear way. You don't have to be like a placement only producer. Like there's so much that you can do. Like whatever you consider success is, because that's such an arbitrary term. Yeah. But I just feel like there's so many pockets and laneways where you can claim it and like get success out of it and like have a fan base and do whatever you want with it. So I just like, so many different things to do. And it's just about like, try it. If it feels natural for you, go forward with it. But make more content. I know nobody likes to make content, but like, just put your shit out there, man.
Bro, it's fact.
Download CapCut, just get to it.
It's fact, man. To this day, like even when I first started producing, at the end of the day, the only things that really gave me, for me personally, the biggest motion, it was content, man. It wasn't even close. Like it was only when I started going crazy with content, even when I didn't want to, I just told myself, okay, I'm going to stay consistent. I think the first sprint I made was like a month. And I think I didn't even have to do, I think I did 2 weeks of like really consistent posting. And this was like really a while ago, but 3 times a day on Instagram, a beat a day. Like that was when daily uploads on YouTube were starting to become a thing. Cash Money AP started to like really take over. Bro, 2 weeks in, I started getting like my first inquiries about sales, and I made my first sales short. I mean, it took a little bit, but I made my first sales. But like that was from that sprint. And that was back then. Now content is even bigger. So yeah, you're right. You can't really avoid it, but giving it that shot and like trying different things. Like even me, I'm pushing, like there's even bigger ideas or I should say different ideas I have that I'm still very excited to execute on this year. So we'll see where it goes.
I said whatever I could say, whatever input I could give in terms of, my own experience. Cause there's days where I'm like, oh man, like I haven't accomplished shit. Like I have so long to go. And it's like, yeah, I do, but that's kind of part of the journey, isn't it? Like it doesn't really stop. Like I think I tweeted, like it was kind of like on a whim because I was like already having a bad day, but I was just like, I want to have 100 major records.
Right.
Released. Which is just it's aimless as fuck. Right. But I'm just like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
The most successful producers might have like 50 upwards.
Right.
Give or take. and maybe like 2 or 3 hits if you're like really lucky, right? Like out of the, because it's like, yeah, major placements are major placements, but then like having a hit record, that's definitely on my list too. I'm like, beyond just getting a major record, like even just a hit with a smaller artist.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's got a hit too. Like, who was Lil Nas X before Old Town Road?
Facts.
But like, did you see how big Old Town Road got?
Yeah, facts.
The bag Keo made off of that. So it's just like, I'm always like,
ooh, yeah.
you never. That's what I'm saying, man. And like, who the fuck was Lil Nas X before that record?
Mm-hmm.
Open mind, be open to receiving blessings from the unknown because you just have no idea. Don't have a dead set of like, I need to get like a Drake record to make that bag, to do this, to do that. It's nah. You can, there's infinite opportunities for abundance and opportunities to come through to you in so many different ways, man. Like an unknown artist could hop on your beat and that song just fucking blows and you're 5 times platinum. And you're hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
So keep fucking going.
Yeah, facts.
No matter what. No matter what. Because success will only meet you if you just don't stop, realistically speaking. And that's through consistency and that's through effort. And just do what you can. Do what you can to just put that effort in. If you can do it on a daily basis, great. If you can do it every other day, like just do what you can, do it at your own pace. Because like you said too, there's guys who will start 2 years after you, who started like a year ago, who were already better than you, who were already killing shit, who just come out of nowhere, right? And they're younger than you, and you don't even, there's so much thing. There's so many different people clamoring for the same opportunities. So really just stay focused on your own path. Again, be open to as many areas and opportunities of success that could come your way because you just never really know.
I'm glad you said that because sometimes you wake up and you're like, man, I haven't accomplished shit. You know what I mean? And there are producers that I reach out to. They've accomplished as big as you can get in music. The replies that they give me sometimes, they essentially feel not accomplished enough to give a conversation. I'm like, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, it's wild. It's really wild.
That's good, bro. That's, you know what's crazy? That's gonna be fucking me too.
Yeah.
Like, that'll be wild, me 5 years from now. I'll be like, are you sure you want to talk to me?
Yeah, exactly. So it's crazy. And like, so it definitely like the correlation between like who feels comfortable with, talking about it and what they've accomplished is so not like, it's not correlated really, it doesn't seem.
No.
And then the other thing too, nowadays, like I saw Cody tweeted the other day and he was talking about something like, I think today or yesterday, but he said basically, don't compare yourself to what you're seeing on the timeline. And it was the way he worded it. But for him, out of all people, to be saying something like that, and then he even replied to his own tweet and said, this is more for when I say you, I'm talking to myself. And he was just talking about,
oh my God, that's my entire fucking Twitter in a nutshell. Like if I'm tweeting shit where it's advice, I'm like, it's for me. By the way, it's for me because holy shit, I can't take my own advice to save my life. But that's what it is, man. It's just a self-reminder. It really is at the end of the day. It's all you can do.
Yeah. Pretty interesting to hear it from someone who's so accomplished. But yeah, what you said was really insightful and I appreciate it heavy.
Yeah, you can find me across pretty much all social media platforms. Teo Domani. That's it. My SEO is as friendly as possible. I'm pretty accessible everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. My YouTube is kind of... should probably get more active on YouTube, but definitely Instagram and Twitter is where I'm most active and TikTok occasionally too. So look out for me there if you want to hear my music. I'll probably end up posting stuff on streaming eventually as well. So if you like my samples, I don't charge for collabs or do anything crazy like that. So if you do want to work with me, hit me up. If you feel like you like my stuff, and I like your stuff, we'll work. I do drums, I do samples, whatever you need from me, I'm there.
Fire, bro. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.